Julian J. Rock Williams, unified champion, answers critics who says that Deontay Wilder has absolutely no skill. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to CashApp too. I see y'all. If you'd like to sign up for ESPN Plus, use my link. It does help the channel. Julian J. Rock Williams, one of the great fights this year versus unified champion Swift Jared Hurd. He got the victory. We haven't seen either guy back since that fight, but it was a great fight on regular Fox. Free TV, can't beat that. Now, J. Rock has always had intellectual boxing brain, both in the ring and outside of the ring. And he has combated and commented on some of the things that the Deontay Wilder detractors are now saying online after Wilder just had a one-punch knockout again over Luis King Kong Ortiz, who happened to be doing really good in the fight and winning the fight up until that point. J-Rock says this, and you'll see it on the screen. To say Deontay Wilder is not skilled is pure ignorance. You can't be an Olympic bronze medalist and not be skilled. He is unpredictable, unorthodox, an awkward fighter with death on the end of his right hand. Deontay Wilder loses rounds because he's not trying to win rounds. He's trying to send you to the hospital. And I thought this was very intelligently articulated to give even the most casual fan introduction as to what Deontay Wilder is all about. And I told you that Wilder is the face of boxing, and it was blowing up for him, and you would start seeing it get bigger and bigger, especially if he were to beat Luis Ortiz impressively. Two things of which happened that he did. And J-Rock's absolutely right. People keep talking about Wilder, you know, his technique is lacking and he needs to do this and do this. He doesn't need to do anything different. He needs to continue doing what he's been doing. And let me get to Steve Cunningham said some interesting things too. He says, am I wrong for asking why Deontay Wilder isn't top pound for pound, top 5? I mean, really, who on that list is doing what he is doing? And he says, be real. There is no one doing what Wilder does. Give due to his just due. We are witnessing greatness in action. So I wanted to let you know from two actual boxers who are, you know, it's one thing to be judged by whoever, but to be judged by your peers is something different. Steve Cunningham is a cruiserweight who's actually fought at heavyweight, and he fought Tyson Fury, a guy way bigger than him, 6'9", and he dropped Tyson Fury just like Deontay Wilder. So he has a say-so in boxing. You know, he has a say-so in what goes on. Same thing with J-Rock. He's a established fighter, and he's a unified champion now. And it's funny because the Deontay Wilder detractors and old media and, you know, old media channels, they're doing nothing but trying to stain Wilder's name as if what he did was somehow bad. You know, there's this misconception that Wilder, it's not even a misconception, it's an outright lie that they're trying to, you know, pin on Deontay Wilder because they don't like the success. Just like Rico and Belly. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, Wilder is doing exactly what he said he's going to do. It's like you really have no chance, no choice but to respect that. He says, all these other guys, they have to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only have to be perfect for 2 seconds. And he showed you that. So how can you be mad when he continually shows you what he's about? One champion, one face, one name. And still, bro, we are witnessing greatness. I agree with Steve Cunningham there, because just like he said, there is nobody who's doing what Wilder does. You can say, oh, that's just because it's power. Who cares? There's nobody doing it. You put Canelo in with Daniel Jacobs, it goes the distance. There's no knockdowns. Jacobs has been knocked out before, right? Canelo started off pretty fast and trailed off around round 5, 6, and then Jacobs started winning rounds. You have, the Kovalev fight. To me, I feel how I feel about that, but I feel that fight was FAF. So that's one example of, I guess, Canelo stopping someone. But here's the thing. Herein lies the difference. Wilder just fought Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz was clearly focused, clearly in shape, clearly had an understanding of what Wilder was good at because he had experience with him. And not only did Luis Ortiz continue to fight like himself, he fought like the best version of himself. The same cannot be said with Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev looked horrible. Look at this dude's back. Look at Luis Ortiz's back, bro. So he had the weight advantage. He had the amateur experience advantage. Like, even though Wilder has a bronze medal, Luis Ortiz had more fights, so he had a lot of experience learning on the job and, continuing to fight. Luis Ortiz was in shape. He had a chance to, like a mulligan, a chance to do it over and get right, yet and still. And then on top of that, he looked super sharp and was winning the fight, which is why he was so angered and at the end, because it was all erased by that man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Again, that's not happening with Canelo. Like, we've seen Canelo, Kovalev, and then I'm not just using Canelo, I'm just saying, giving a random example, but we've seen Kovalev, who looked like a shell of his former self for whatever reason, later comes out and does a video and says, I was motivated by nothing other than money. Luis Ortiz ain't saying that. He ain't saying I wasn't trying to take Wilder's head off and I knew it was impossible to win. But Kovalev did. You look at Lomachenko. He moved up to 135, 2-time gold medalist, and all of his fights have been tougher. All of them. He didn't blow Jorge Linares out like that. That was a back and forth affair. Wilder, it doesn't matter if you're bigger than him, if you outweigh him, if you have more skill set than him, if you have an equal skill set or lesser skills than him, if you're a brawler, if you're a technical fighter, if you're an orthodox fighter, if you're a southpaw, if you do both. Tyson Fury switches, he switches from, or he has the ability to switch. It doesn't matter. The end result is the same. Wilder's hitting him with crushing power. So I really agree with J-Rock and Steve Cunningham here. And like I said, it's very important when your peers are judging you and saying, hey, man, you got to just give this dude credit. J-Rock saying, you talking about he don't have no skills. He has something. He's not trying to win rounds. And I love that from J-Rock because that's true. Wilder knows what he's good at. And I'm sure Wilder knows what his weakness is. And I think that's what makes Wilder a problem, unpredictable. And it makes him more dangerous. If Wilder went in there with the guy with 500 amateur fights, who's a southpaw, who's quick on the counter, quick at processing information, then he could possibly lose to a guy like Luis Ortiz. I think Luis Ortiz on that given night would have beat most, if not all, heavyweights outside of Wilder because he looked that sharp, right? People kept talking about his age and stuff. The man looked sharp, looked focused, and despite all of his great efforts, it was all erased in the blink of an eye. Wilder told you. Another thing he said, don't blink. Make sure you grab your pizza, grab your popcorn, grab your beer or something to drink, but don't blink. He told you this. And then he happened. So Wilder's a true manifestation of his words. But again, Wilder, I give him a lot of credit because it's a skill in itself to be able to know what you can achieve and what your strengths and weaknesses are. If it's just like Timothy Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. Tim Bradley wasn't the puncher there, but he was so angered by Pacquiao fans treating him bad or whatever because he beat Pacquiao and sending him death threats. He fought with a chip on his shoulder, so he started to fight like he was this massive puncher, like he was just going to show the world you know, and I guess try to stop Ruslan Provodnikov. And within the first 2 rounds, Timothy Bradley was in a real precarious situation, and he almost got knocked out as a result. So I think Wilder, people are lying and trying to make it look like he looked bad versus Ortiz. He didn't look bad. He actually, to me, he was just cautious, and he didn't want to show too much of the right hand, because in doing so, you give the better, superior boxer more time to adjust to it and to look out for it while you're trying to close distance and start landing it. So he kept the right tucked, did a lot of work with the left hand, and, you know, that shows a ring IQ. That shows that he's not a one-handed fighter, because he pulled out the right hand when needed, but for the first 6 rounds, the right hand went missing. And that was by design, you know? So that was actually smart, you know? It made more sense. He knew that if I was patient with this, I didn't rush my shots like I did in the Tyson Fury first fight in the middle rounds, that he can't take the power I possess. This is from the first fight. So shout out to Deontay Wilder. The detractors are going to have to do a better job, because, again, he's being judged not only by real boxing fans, but his peers, and they're telling you what it is. They're like, man, give the man his roses while he's still here. Give him his props, because this dude's a bad dude, you know? And when you get judged by your peers, again, it's over. It's over. Ryan Garcia, verified page, right? Look what he put. Wilder, you are, look. Wilder, you are one scary human being. So, again, old media, they got to work harder, and they got to try to work smarter to take away the credit from this, because it's at this point with new media around, Wilder is finally starting to get credit. Things that I've told you to give him credit for a while. You could say, oh, his technique isn't flawless. But again, the guys whose technique is flawless or superb, they're still getting knocked out. So to me, that is a skill set. If you could beat somebody with a higher skill set, like how come nobody beat Floyd? How come nobody beat Floyd? Because they couldn't match what he does well and effectively take him out of his game. So if Wilder, if it's sweet, then do the same thing with Deontay Wilder. If all he has is one punch and a right hand, Tyson Fury didn't do that. He didn't stay away from the right hand without resistance, because he was unconscious. And Wilder, on Wilder's night where he didn't look the sharpest, he still produced that. Bro, some of y'all in for a rude awakening. But like I said, when pro boxers are telling you and giving your credit, the fans look foolish by trying to denounce it and still keep denying what I've been telling you all along. So Ryan Garcia, an undefeated fighter, you know, with knockout power, speed, he's saying Wilder, he's not even with the promotion. He's with Golden Boy in the zone, and he's paying attention. Like, man, Wilder, you're a scary human being. You a bad boy. You know, J-Rock, unified champion. Steve Cunningham fought big names before. Andrew Tabiti, Tyson Fury, Amir Mansour. So good luck to old media, but we out here working. Shout out to the champ, Deontay Wilder. He has to start, you know, getting more haters, because the old ones is turning into fans and stuff, trying to resist the, you know, oh, okay, let me just keep hating and acting like what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. It don't work like that. And you're starting to see it. Wilder is getting smarter. He's getting better. And despite any flaw, nobody is exposing what you claim to be a lack of a skill set, like J-Rock said. So until that happens, he's the baddest mofo on the planet. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.